Good morning, children. So, the last class we have studied about the hormones, about the glands we have studied different glands of different glands of the body. That is thyroid gland, pituitary gland, adrenal gland, then islets of Langerhans that is present in the pancreas. Then we studied about parathyroid gland, which is situated in the thyroid gland. So all the hormones related to that. So functions associated with the hormones that we have studied. So yesterday I was telling about the gonads. See, the gonads. So gonads are present in reproductive system. So ovary is a type of gonad. So we'll study this in detail because again it repeats in the next chapter, that is reproduction in animals. There it comes. So ovary is a gonad which present in the female reproductive system, produces ovum, then it produces hormones. Hormones are produced by this. So mainly the estrogen and progesterone. So these are hormones which are produced. See, what they do function. Usually produce estrogen hormones. These hormones actually provides the feminine characters to girl at the time of puberty. Understood. So feminine character in the sense like soft skin maybe. So that's the main thing. Then voice. So that is one of the character. So mammary glands. So mammary glands will produce able to produce the milk during the time of gestation, during the time of pregnancy period or gestation period we tell it as. Understood? So that is feminine character. Softness of the skin, maybe then production of mammary glands. That is the main thing. So this progesterone and both. So this actually, see, this estrogen is the main hormone produced by the ovary. It provides all the feminine character, and progesterone also is necessary. It plays a very important role in the gestation period. When the baby is growing, a fetus is growing in the mother's womb in the uterus. During that time, this plays a very important role. Progesterone. Not only progesterone, there are some more hormones which are produced in pituitary gland. Pituitary gland also there are some hormones are produced, like oxytocin is produced, which is called as birth hormone, oxytocin. Prolactin is produced. So all these are associated with the gestation period. The period from fertilization to the birth of the baby. Gestation period we call it as. The period from birth, so fertilization to the birth of the baby is called gestation period. During that time, the gestation period, progesterone also secreted, even oxytocin is secreted, prolactin is secreted. All these are hormones which are associated with the gestation period. So similarly, we take so one more gonad, that is that is testis, present in the male reproductive system, Understood? So testis actually produces sperms. So they produces the male gamete called as sperms, male gametes. Male gametes are produced. Then it helps in the production of hormones. Hormones called testosterone. So testosterone, what it does is it provides masculine characters in boy during the puberty. During the puberty means after the maturity, means it's called as adolescence period. So neonatal condition where the baby is growing in a mother's womb, then born neonat, then child. We call it as child. After the 2 years, we call it as child. After then, the child will turn into adolescence age. So intermediate stage between child and adult. So that's called adolescence period. From the adolescence period, we will move to the adult. So during that adolescence period, this changes happens in the body, that is called as masculine character. So male character like breed and having the breed and mustache, they starts producing the voice of the male changes because of that. So all the such character are called as masculine character. Those character are because the testosterone. So I told you, so all these hormones related to the reproduction, they are called as androgens. Understood? They are actually controlled by one more gland, that is adrenal gland. I told you yesterday. Aldosterone and androgens, they are associated with the thyroid gland also. Adrenal gland also. So this is about the gonads. Then there are so many hormones like skin color. Our skin color is controlled by hormone called as melanin. There's a pigment produced which provides a complexion to the skin. This is secreted. This melanin is secreted by melanocytes. Which are present in the skin. So melanocytes. So this melanocytes again they are controlled by pituitary gland. So it produces pituitary gland. I told you it controls all the glands. Even these melanocytes are controlled by the pituitary gland. So it produces melanocyte stimulating hormone. The pituitary gland produces melanocyte stimulating hormone to produce the melanin pigment. Then we have melatonin. So melatonin again it is also a chemical substance which are secreted in the body by pineal gland. In the brain there is one more gland, the smallest pea size gland it is. So melatonin is also produced which controls our sleep. Melatonin. You are feeling sleepy means your melatonin is produced. Melatonin. So there are some disorders associated with the sleep also. You maybe heard about insomnia. Insomnia is one of the disorder of melatonin. Insomnia. A person cannot have a sleep properly. That condition is called as insomnia. So these are the associated glands and their hormones that we have studied till now. Is it clear? So there is one more gland called as thymus. So the thymus actually thymosin hormone is produced in the thymus, which is related to the immunity. It will help in the immunity of the body. Understood? So all these are the hormones which are associated to the physiological activities of the body. So whenever these hormones are deficient in the body, it may result into disorder. Like somatotrophic hormone. When somatotrophic hormone is not present in a proper normal level, you will have disease like dwarfism, gigantism, acromegaly. In case of thyroid problem, thyroxine is not produced or produced more than the normal required. So there are diseases associated. Hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism, and goiter. Like that way, there are associated disease. Is it clear? So that already we have discussed all this. So if you have any doubt till now, what is thought, please ask now. Otherwise, we will move to the next part of the lesson, that is control and coordination in plants. How it happens to be. Yeah, we'll move to the next part. So control and coordination in plants. See, as you know that already, plants plant actually they are made up of living cells and non-living cells. So some of they do not have separate system for control and coordination. So there are no separate specialized tissue associated with the control and coordination. So, but there are hormonal system. Understood? There are hormonal system. There is no separate system like nervous system as present in the animals. So nervous system is not present in the plant. So it is for the protection also. So they have dead cells for the protection. So like that, they have an alternative method. Like they do not have nervous system, but they have hormonal system. It is phytohormones. Phytohormones. So phytohormones means what? So these are the organic substances which are produced in the plant body, which helps in growth and development of the body. So phytohormones produced in the plant. Phyto refers to the plant. Hormones, you already know about the hormones. The organic substances which are produced in the body, which are which are necessary for the specific function in the body. So all the hormones will have separate functions. Already have learned about the animal hormones, pituitary, thyroxine we have learned, thyroxine we have learned, somatotropin we have learned, all like that. Even in the plant body, there are hormones are released which are associated with the growth and development of the body. Understood? What are those hormones? So types of hormones if you take. Type of hormones. The first type of hormone is growth promoter, growth promoters, and growth inhibitors. Growth inhibitors. So growth promoters and growth inhibitors. So growth promoters, if you take growth promoters. What are these growth promoters actually? So name only suggests growth promoter. They help in the growth of the body. They help in the growth. So usually growth promoters are auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin. These are growth promoters. Growth inhibitors are ethylene and abscisic acid. Abscisic acid. So these are the growth inhibitors which are helpful in the plant. So commonly, if you take hormones are very necessary for the plant body. One such say like plants, the growth will happen. For the growth to happen, there are hormones. For cell division, there are hormones. For growth inhibitors, there are hormones. Means we cannot expect a mango leaves of a mango tree like a leaves of a lotus plant, large. No, it cannot be. So leaves of the lotus is large. So mango leaves are having that shape and very small, and they cannot grow more than the normal. Why? Because there are growth inhibitors which inhibits the growth. These are the promoters. They promote the growth. They help in the cell division. They help in the elongation of stem. They help in the differentiation of cells. All that. But there are some hormones called as inhibitor which stops the growth. After a certain time, the plant's leaves stops the growth and it will fall off. So fruit, after some size, the development of the fruit will be stopped and the ripening process will start. All that are functions of the hormones. We'll see general functions first, then we'll move to the specificity. General functions of hormone. Phytohormones. General functions of phytohormones. So it helps in cell division, cell elongation, cell differentiation, Understood. Cell differentiation. What is cell division? For growth to happen, the plant has to grow from a seedling. Seedling is a small plant. Even in the seed there is an embryo. Embryo will be present. That embryo will grow into germinates and grow into new plant. Roots are produced. Then stem is produced. Stem turns into branches. branches, leaves will be there. After later on it produces bud, then bud will become flower, flower will become fruit, fruit will ripen. All such process, cell division is necessary. Cell division is necessary. Cell division happens. One cell becomes two, two becomes four, like that. With multiplication goes on and becomes a multicellular organism. So cell elongation. Sometimes the elongation of the cell has to happen for the growth. For the growth, that is done. Then cell differentiation. Cell differentiation in the sense, what is the cell differentiation? Means that many type of cells are present in the plant body. You know that last year you have studied about parenchyma cells, mesenchyma cells, collenchyma cells, xylem phloem cells. All these different type of cells are present. All these different cells are derived from meristematic tissue. The meristematic tissue will convert into collenchyma, parenchyma, mesenchyma. Initially, this meristematic tissue will be there in the seedlings. Then it will turn into all different. That is called cell differentiation. Then birth of flowers, bud flower, then wilting process, wilting process. So wilting process means what? So the leaf will grow for the normal growth, normal shape and normal growth. Then after that, the growth will be stopped. Growth will stop and it will fall off. The leaves turn to yellow color. They lose its green color. They turn to yellow color. Then finally they fall off. So that is called as wilting process. Wilting process. Wilting process is controlled by the hormones. Then aging of leaves. Aging of leaves. It may be bud, flowers, fruit. All that is controlled. Then seed dormancy. Seed dormancy. So seed dormancy. Seed dormancy means what? Resting period. Before, say, the fruit will contain seed. So after the growth of the fruit ripens. So after ripening, they fall. They fall. When they fall into soil, immediately they cannot grow into new plant. The seeds cannot grow into new plant. But after they wait for certain time. They wait for water to be necessary for germination. The plant, from the seed, new plant has to grow. No, germination has to happen. For that, they wait for some time. They protect themselves. Seeds will protect themselves and wait for the water. For the rainy season, they wait. That period before the germination. Before the germination, the resting period of the seed before germination, resting period of the seed before germination, it is called as seed dormancy. Seed dormancy, that is also controlled by hormones called as inhibitors. Like there are many such hormones which are associated. Then we have parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy means, say, some plants are there, they do not produce seed. They produce seed, but the seed cannot germinate into new plant. Some of the fruits, they contain seed, but they cannot germinate into new plant. Those type of means the plant germinates without seed. Reproduction happens without seed. That process is called parthenocarpy. So promotes parthenocarpy also. Then ripening of fruits. All these are the general functions of the Phytohormones. Is it clear? Then we will move to the now specificity of the hormones. Any doubt? If you have, please ask now. Yeah. So we'll move to the specificity of the hormones. I hope you have written this. So write it if you don't written. So I'll rub this. So auxin is a hormone. It is a growth promoter. Growth promoter. Growth promoter. Usually produced more in the tip of the plants. Tip of the plants usually they produce more because see you know that already. It is not that it is not produced in the non-growing plants. Non-growing plants also, so non-growing part also it will grow. But say like if you take creepers or what do we call it? Herbs. Herbs in case of herbs, so auxin is present everywhere because usually sometimes they actually move towards the sunlight. So that time bending has to be possible, but it has to bend towards the sunlight. During that time, what happens actually? That actually during that time the oxygen secretes over there, which will help in the bending of the plant part. That will happen. Even the tips it is more present. That's all. So helps in growth of the cells. Growth of cells. Elongation of cells. Elongation of cells. Means if elongation of cells happens, the growth automatically happens actually. Understood? So here you maybe heard about plants. So a potted plant when it is kept in a dark place and one side of the room, in a dark room, one side of the room small light is there. The small amount of light is entering that room. If you kept that plant in that room and if you wait for some time or some days, you observe that the plant, stem of the plant will move towards the sunlight. Will move towards the sunlight. Or any part of the plant body will move towards the sunlight. That moment is called as actually phototropic moment. Phototropic moment. Phototropic moment. Here. Phototropic moment. So moment of part of the plant body are plant towards the sunlight, towards the stimulation of the sunlight. That moment is called as phototropic moment. Phototropic moment. Phototropic moment usually happens in the plant. So if you take a potted plant, so you take the sunlight is coming from this side. So plant usually what happens is it normally bends towards the sunlight. bend towards the sunlight. Towards the sunlight, like this. See, this moment is called as phototropic moment. So phototropic moment is actually controlled by the auxin. Controlled by the auxin. See here. So this is a stem. This is a part of the stem. I'll just draw over here. So here the part of the plant. Here, see. So it is germinating. After germination, it will produce flowers. Leaves, branches, and all. The branch slightly bent towards the sunlight. Bent towards the sunlight. This part is enlarged part I have taken here. What happens is here, see, the sunlight is falling this side, non-shaded part. So when sunlight is falling on this part, in this part it is falling. What happens is the auxin which is present over here, the auxin which is present over here, move to the shaded part. So the auxin which is present or auxin is present over here. So it moved towards this part. Understood? This is light part, and this is a shady part where sunlight is not falling. So when auxin actually diffuses from sunlight part to the shady part. In the shady part, the division of the cell increases. Cell division increases. Cell elongation happens. Cell differentiation happens. Because of that, what happens? The number of cells here it becomes more. When the number of cells here becomes more, the plant will bend towards the sunlight, towards the lighted part. This actually done by the auxin. So that moment is called a phototropic moment. The phototropic moment is actually controlled by auxin. So remember this. So auxin helps in the actually growth. So this is growth. So because of stimulation, there is the hormone associated with that. So this is growth. Growth happens because of the auxin, and the stimulation. Stimulation, I told you, what is stimulation? Changes in the environment. So by this, the plant will start bending. Plant will start bending towards the sunlight. That moment is called as phototropic moment. Phototropic moment is also controlled by the auxin. Similarly, you have heard about the creepers. So, cucumber plant, maybe you have seen. They produce tendrils. These are called tendrils. Coiled structure. Tendrils. Coiled structure they produce. So when they come contact with any other plant or any other plant or support, when they come contact with any support, they start coiling. They start to coil. They start coiling to that support, and they provide support to this plant, creepers. Understood? Here also the auxin plays a very important role. Here see the tendril part which come contact with the support, there actually, so here it come into contact. The other non-contact part, the cell division becomes more. Because of that, the plant, this is a plant support, and this is a tendril. When tendril come in contact with this stem, so it coils like this. Why? Because this side cell division becomes more. And this side cell division becomes, this is the non-contact part, this is the contact part. So here coiling happens. Like this way, completely coils and takes a support, This is also actually promoted by auxin, So this is about the hormone auxin, how it works actually. Mainly it is, I told you, it is related to the growth of the plant body. It will help in growth. Is it clear? So if you have any doubt regarding this, what is taught today, let's ask the question. So we are left out with two this thing, gibberellin and cytokinin. So cytokinin is one of the growth hormone which will help in mainly in cell division. Cell division it happens. Cytokinin. Cyto refers to the cell. Kinin refers to the breaking. Cell division mainly associated with cell division. All that functions. So cell divides. Means when cell division happens, only growth will happen. Means that is also related to the growth only. That's why we call it as growth promoters. So cytokinin is also a growth promoter. Understood? Similarly, even gibberellin also helps in the elongation of the stem. They help in the growth of the plant body. And if you take inhibitors, so 5 minutes is remaining. That's why I'm telling. I'm just concluding today's class. Just I will glance it about this. Then we'll see tomorrow about the other part of the lesson. So even cytokinin. See, cytokinin helps in the cell division mainly. Then if you take inhibitors such as ethylene and abscisic acid, they help in they control the ripening process. They control the ripening process. Means fruits will ripe and they fall off. That is controlled by the ethylene and abscisic acid. Understood? So seed dormancy. During the seed dormancy, after the completing seed dormancy, it has to grow. There it actually the function of the ethylene is there. Abscisic acid helps in the ripening of fruit. So all that we will see tomorrow. Yeah, thank you very much. Go through the textbook and read once. If you come in contact with any difficulty, call me. Thank you.